How's it going, Bruins fans? Tom Cavanaugh here from the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated. We're going to be catching you all up on what happened tonight in Westwood. UCLA in their season opener, gets it done 85-50, dominant win, tape to tape. They, in all facets of the game, dominated. And coming in, you knew that the Bruins were probably going to come out with a victory today. You didn't know what the margin was going to be like, but this is a team that's coming into the season ranked third in the preseason poll, the Big Ten, just behind Indiana and Purdue. And they have a lot of big pieces and a lot from the transfer portal. We'll get into it a little bit later. They shine today, as well as a few returners over the last couple of years. Guys like Dylan Andrews, Sebastian Mack, two returners that many Bruins fans are familiar with, and then some that aren't, that were able to have big games in the exhibition last week and have come through to bring the Bruins to a 1-0 record starting out on Monday night. When you look up and down the box score, there's a few stats that really stick out. One being 15 offensive rebounds for this Bruins team. They had 32 points in the paint. And a big reason for that is the 15 offensive rebounds led by Kobe Johnson, the transfer from USC. He's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to 6 different transfers that entered in for Cronin's group this year. And we'll get you the list on all of them. They all played pretty darn well tonight. But Johnson, 12 points. He had 8 rebounds, 4 of those being offensive. And that's just kind of what the makeup of this Bruins team is going to be this year. It's going to be heavy guard play with also some physical bigs that are able to get offensive rebounds, put extra shots up, and give their team a chance at anywhere from 65 to 70 shots a game. So when you look up and down the stat sheet here, obviously that jumps out at you in the rebound statistic, but also in the assist category as well. This team had 21 assists on 34 made shots tonight. Their ability to facilitate the basketball is something that Cronin has always harped on. You take it back to point guard Tiger Campbell from a few years ago that led the Bruins to a Final Four. That was the bread and butter for him and Cronin's group. So you see that in several guys. I mean, you got heavy minutes from Dylan Edwards, who is a guard. Sky Clark didn't have a great game offensively, but had 7 assists. So we mentioned, a third of the assists came from Clark. He's a transfer from Illinois, spent last year at Louisville, and he's on his 3rd school in 3 seasons. He's a junior trying to really run this offense, be the quarterback of it, and he did that today. Freshman Trent Perry, he had 6 points, didn't play a ton of minutes today, but, getting his feet wet in college basketball. He's only a freshman, was a 4-star recruit coming out, and he's going to have to take a few games here. Not that he needs it. He could probably come in and still play and compete in these early games. When it comes Big Ten time, though, that's when they need him. So being able to get him some minutes, score some points. He was 1 of 4 from 3, and then his other 3 points came from the free throw line. So he's getting to the rim, grabbing some contact. I like what Trent Perry was doing in this first game. Watched him a little bit in the game, and he can handle the ball well. He's not a guy that's going to turn it over very much, and neither are any of these Bruins. Obviously, this Rider team is not the upper echelon of college basketball, but only 9 turnovers today for the group at UCLA compared to 14 from Rider. UCLA came out with 20 or more, I think 22 points it was, off of turnovers from Rider. So they're capitalizing when they get the chances. The leading scorer tonight was Tyler Bilodeau, Oregon State transfer, so he is very familiar with UCLA, as they were both in the Pac-12 last year. Bilodeau averaged about 14 points last season for the Beavers, and he popped off for 18. He was 9 of 16 shooting from the field. He was 0 from 3, though. He is a forward, but kind of that slash guard big where he can play both positions. So he took the most threes out of any forward besides Kobe Johnson, who took the same number. Bilodeau also had 6 rebounds. He's going to do pretty much everything on the floor. He's going to handle the basketball. He'll be cutting to the rim as a big man. He's about 6'6" with a lot of physical presence underneath and can finish through contact. So Bilodeau, he was the biggest acquisition of the offseason for the Bruins and head coach Cronin, and he showed it tonight. He had 24 points in their exhibition match last week, and he followed it up with an 18-piece in the season opener. Another guy that really jumped out to people, no surprise really, because he averaged just about 13 points last year, was junior Dylan Edwards. He's back for his 3rd year with the program. He was 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3-point range, and he had 6 assists. So Edwards, him and Clark were really the guys that were running the offense from the top of the key. But Andrews, he was able to kind of put the ball in the cup a little bit more with 14 points. Another returner that had a big game was Sebastian Mack, coming off a freshman year where he played pretty well, averaged just above 12 points a game, had a couple 20 pieces against Pac 12 opponents last season in his first year of college basketball, and he was putting the ball in tonight. 12 points, he was 4 of 7 shooting the basketball, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. A very, very nice day for Sebastian. Only recorded 2 rebounds, didn't have many assists, so he was more of a catch and shoot type of guy today, but he played well. So Sebastian Mack, along with Dylan Andrews, are the 2 big returners that are going to play a role this season for the Bruins. And we got to go back to a few more of these transfers. We talk about Kobe Johnson, USC transfer, 12 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. When you look at Kobe's numbers, those 4 offensive rebounds were huge, and he was able to really get to the rim, either scoring or when he missed, he was able to follow up his own shot or others and put it in. So that's good from Kobe. Another one of those transfers too, out of the 6, was Eric Daly Jr. coming over from Oklahoma State. He wasn't in double figures today, but was right near a double-double. 9 points, 8 rebounds. He had 6 defensive rebounds. 2 were in the paint offensively. And he did have 4 fouls, which led the team. But, uh, I mean, he's another guy. He's a big, strong forward, 4 of 6 shooting the basketball. So didn't take a ton of shots, but when he did, he made them. Also had a 3-point make. And this team was they were okay from 3-point range, just 34%, shot 10 of 29 from there. So going forward, I think Cronin would like to see his group shoot it a little better from 3-point land. But overall, they played a solid game. They were 52% from the field overall. As we mentioned, the 21 assists that came through. They had 9 blocks in the game, in a game where they should have several blocks. William Kyle III had 3. Ade Mara, the 7'3" big man center, he had 3 as well. And it was a complete win for the Bruins. And when you look ahead to this team matching up against other big name opponents this Friday, really, they have New Mexico State, who's not a bad program. It's going to be telling to see where this team can go with several of these transfers, returners that have experience, and then you also have some of the young guys, aka Trent Perry, the freshman, who had a couple of points tonight as well. So it's a hodgepodge group of a little bit of everything. You got those returners, those transfers, the young guys, and Cronin's going to do a nice job, as he always does, of bringing this team back from a 16-17 year. Last year, they finished 10-10 in their final year in the Pac-12, and they're now looking to make a statement in the Big Ten as one of the top teams. They're ranked 22nd overall right now, currently, and that ranking is only going to get higher if they continue to play at the pace that they're at right now. So when you look up and down, there's a lot to like from the Bruins, from the older generation to the young guys, and they're finding ways to score at a high rate. I mean, they got up 65 shots tonight, and that's also because, as we mentioned at the top of the episode, 15 offensive rebounds. When you shoot the ball 65 times, there's a good chance you're scoring anywhere from 75 to 90 points. They finished with 85, and in most college basketball games, unless you're going to overtime or playing a team like Tennessee, that's going to go for a W. So UCLA, a big win. They get it done 85-50. They're going to move on to New Mexico State on Friday, a much better team that they're going to face in that game. Throughout the rest of the week, we're going to break down that New Mexico State matchup against the Bruins and a few of these other players that are expected to have big games because, boy, Bilodeau, Andrews, Johnson, Sebastian Mack, all those guys, Eric Daly Jr., watch out for them in the Big Ten. They could be winning some awards halfway through this season, a little bit later when we start getting into talks about the best players in the Big Ten Conference. I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening today for the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast, our game recap of the UCLA Bruins, number 22 ranked in the country, taking down Rider University in the season opener, 85-50. Big win for head coach Mick Cronin's group. They improved to 1-0, and they'll move on to Friday night. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.